A new season begins with some spooky skins, and it looks like we're getting a little bit of a look at the upcoming Survivor. Let's begin. Welcome back to another episode, guys. Let's get into talking about what we're getting this week. By the looks of it, similar to last week, we're getting the patch one day earlier. Someone commented on the previous video saying it was connected to some kind of holiday that's happening over in China. So yeah, they've had to move things around. So this week we're getting it a little bit earlier. But what we're getting this week is we're getting the beginning of season 39, meaning we're getting season 39 Essence 1 with the fantastic looking S tier skin for Prisoner called Fugue for Dawn. Now, the effects of the skin are absolutely amazing. It got crows flying around him. He's got mechanical kind of things in his belly, and it's really cool. I really want this skin. This is a fantastic one. This essence also contains two A tier skins, one of which is for Pharaoh Lady called Plea to the Depths, and the other one is for Violinist called Artificial Paradise. Both of these skins are really good. I think the Pharaoh Lady one has really grown on me. I didn't like the art originally, but what it looks like in game is just absolutely fantastic. This might actually bump it up above Violinist for me. And there's also the Violinist skin that looks really good as well. I kind of did worry that he looked a bit monotone, one kind of color, one blob green. He still does a little bit. There are some nice touches of purple in there, but I think what's cool about him is the kind of the fiery stuff coming out of his crown on his head. We're also getting some B tiers in this essence as well. I believe they're going to be for Hullabaloo, Nightwatch, Wildling, Goatman, and Mercenary, as far as we can tell from the video. And of course, there are some portrait rewards where you can get all of these portraits on the screen right now. With the new season, of course, we're getting a new logic path, meaning we're getting an A tier skin, and that one is for Nightmare called Night Stalker. The art looked fantastic originally, but seeing what it looks like in game, even better. This skin looks really cool. I still do want it. I love Nightmare as a character. And there's also the B tier accessory called Lumen Snare and the portrait and portrait frame themed around the skin. There's also some new rank rewards with this new season, including the S tier Mad Eyes one called Mechanized Lockbox. I was quite excited for this accessory because, you know, Mad Eyes doesn't get a ton of love, but I was a little disappointed by the effects for this one. They just seemed a little simple in my opinion. The effects are like storm clouds above the walls, along with kind of electricity that runs around the kind of the walls and also around his weapon. He gets electric footsteps that just seems like the default now for S tiers, if they just give them very similar looking footsteps where they just slightly change some of the effects where it's either lightning or kind of little flowery petal effects and stuff. They look very similar to me. There's also like an aerial view electric effect that I do think looks quite cool when he's looking around the map or looking from above. He also has a carry animation, although it does seem quite an okay carry animation. It's just recycling and pre-existing carry animation in my opinion, and they've just added like a mechanical drone on the top. I know this is me sounding a little negative, but it just feels like a lot of the stuff that we've been getting recently is just kind of copy and paste from other things that we've had and then slightly add different effects, and I'm just slightly disappointed by that, but that is because I think they're probably in a rush to make different things and different pieces of content because they are releasing so much recently. There's also the A tier Hullabaloo accessory called Moonlight Hourglass that I think is probably the weakest of all of them here. All it does really is changes the colors around his circle on the bottom from its original colors to white, purple, and orange, and it also adds some glow star effects. Now that does look quite pretty, but it's very simple, and that's pretty much all that it does. And then there's the A tier acrobat accessory called Handbell. The effects include like a bell that hovers over the affected areas on the ground where he drops them. They seem to glow quite brightly. They do look quite pretty, as in the kind of, you know, the glow is quite nice, and it just has random logos in the middle of the effects. One of them is a rain cloud, a star, and the other one is a sun. And as far as I know, that's all we're getting this week, although I couldn't remember if we had the pre-registration event last week or this week for the upcoming Palace Museum crossover. If it is this week, then that should also be out. Let's talk about some future content here. One of the things that I can imagine a lot of you are excited about is the new survivor Lanternist, and although they haven't given us her abilities yet, they have given us her story, and I haven't seen anyone write a translation of what her main story is. All I can go by is for the video that I watched one time, and it looks like she has, as we've mentioned I think previously, that she has some problems where she has like very vivid dreams that cause like some type of sleep issues, and maybe watching projections from a projector seems to help her feel better. And then there is definitely some connection to the kind of the eye cat thing related to Disciple and also Hermit and stuff that seems to be either she's for it or against it. I don't really know. We can expect this character will be releasing with the next essence since they just revealed her story, so that's really exciting. Something I was really looking forward to was finding out a little bit more about the effects for the skins for the upcoming Palace Museum crossover. We got a better look at the Painter A tier skin called Sealed Chronicler. The skin looks really good. It's honestly a really solid A tier skin. I talked about it as well when we saw the art originally. I think it just looks really nice in game, and it has some nice kind of tasteful floaty effects as well. There's the female dancer S tier skin called Loomsong Awakening. The skin itself absolutely gorgeous. It's got a lot of detail, it looks really kind of cool and unique and stuff like that, but I don't like the accessory, and I think a lot of people will agree with me here. It looks a little flat and empty. It has kind of cog effects on the ground, and that's really basically it. It does change the music, and I think she does get like a kind of extra emote to go along with it. Yeah, it does seem a little basic in my opinion. It's really not as good as it probably could have been. There's also the Wu-Chang S tier skin called Verdant Realms Unfurled. The skin itself is really cool. I think the white guard is quite plain and simple, but the black guard looks fantastic. It's got so many details to it, and I love the effects on it and stuff. He just looks really cool. The accessory effects are quite decent, I would say. It does feel like, again, we've got kind of very copy and pasted effects from certain other accessories of his and other things that we've had in the previous events, kind of all mashed together with a little bit of an extra touch on top, but that's fine. I do like the boat effect for when he uses the bell. That was very cool when I saw it. I liked that one indeed. Another thing that was revealed, or at least revealed in the China server at least, around September 25th, we should be getting the Mid-Autumn Festival event. There's like the moon event. We don't really know exactly what's coming for us because some of this could be China only, as they haven't really revealed what's coming for us yet. But so keep this in mind. Some of this might not come to us at all. Maybe none of this, who knows? But I expect some of it will. The event itself should have some event rewards, including a portrait in portrait frame for part 1. I think there's 1 week and then a second week and possibly even a third week. And week 2 will have an emote effect called Falling Leaves and a B tier skin for Shadow called Moon Offering. Looks quite decent, and it's nice to see them adding more emotes effects so quickly. We're getting the return of a public map called Oasis Mirage, where the rewards for this map will be getting graffitis, 2 stickers, and a dynamic portrait. There's also, translated from IDV Clue, beneficial event rewards. Don't really know what that is, and this will include a ton of in-game currency and more stuff separated into 3 chunks. I can imagine 3 weeks or 2-3 weeks, and we're getting some returning content both for the Spyglass store and the main store. In the Spyglass store, we're getting the B tier moon themed skins from previous events. There's quite a big collection of them now, where they've been doing this for many years, and also B tier accessories from previous events. And then for the store itself, we're getting the return of quite a few S tier skins. The skins are Firefly for Doctor, a Visitor to Ulthar for Disciple, Architect for Mind's Eye, and Night Tides for Bloody Queen, along with the A tier skin Manchurian Crane for Geisha and their matching accessories. So those would be both A and S tier accessories for those skins that came up and released with them. And Geisha didn't have an accessory that went along with it, so she's getting the return of her A tier pet Man in the Mirror that has a cool little chair effect. As far as I know, that's all we're getting, so if you haven't already, make sure you click on the video right there because YouTube thinks that you'll like it.